Good evening, everyone. I am Vishnu Akhtab, and in front of all of you, I am presenting the Wall Street Journal newspaper headlines. First of all, Senate passes spending package. Next, FTX founder Bankman Fried released on $250 million bond. Next, soar U.S.-China relations feed the volatile crisis. Next, YouTube wins NFL Sunday ticket rights. Next, Twitter campaigns to win back advertisers. Next, Stanford hates fun. Students knock tree mascot suspension. Next, on page number 2, in that US population growth stays sluggish. Next, US curbs hits China's imports of chip gear. Next, ex head of FTX freed on bond. Next, Washington banned the export of a range of chips and the tool to make them. Next, on page number 3, in that storm hazards stretch coast to coast. Next, Arctic blast impedes holiday travel. Then we comes to page number 4, in that major holds broad business impact. Next, Congress poised to overhaul electoral count act. Next, spending bill clears Senate. Next, subway shooter will enter a guilty plea. Next, jobless claim rise in a tight market. Next, northern panhandle gets a battery plant. Next, on page number 5, in that Jan 6 panels report hammers Trump. Next, aide says former President Alice pressed her own testimony. Next, on page number 6, in that Denver feels strains of migrant influx. Next, YouTube agrees to NFL deal. Next, Twitter quotes advertisers. Next, on page number 7, in that Moscow blames Kiwi for attack on leaders. Next, diplomacy center on war, not peace. Next, German intelligence official suspected as a Russian spy. Next, Europe rushes arm to the front, but in running out of ammunition. Next, on page number 8, in that Iran's online crackdown spurs smuggling of Starlink devices. Next, UK strikes expand to passport control, disrupting travelers. Next, Islamic State blamed for series of attacks. Next, military mobilized amid political unrest. Next, Education Minister defends female ban. Next, lower house passes pro transgender law. Then on page number 9, in that poor China ties feed drug crisis. Next, Stanford students want fund. Next, on page number 10, in that the talk of early uh, till cell town. Next, Groucho and Cavet angles on Mark. Next, on page number 11, in that Busquets and Warhol face off. Next, on page number 12, in that Luka Doncic revives the post-up game. Next, Brewer's suspension is reduced by arbitrator. Next, artistic swimming opens to men. Next, on page number 13, in that the back end of an omnibus. Next, the soul of the solitize. Next, about that emulate reception. Next, the mouse that did not stare. Then on page number 14, in that the subsidy tango of Gates and Manchin. Next, immigration cynicism on Capitol Hill. Next, the GOP loses the plot on Ukraine. Next, immigrants Americans respond to Stanford. Next, moral sentiments is Adam Smith's best work. Next, Welsior response on hard-won meditation. Next, medication. Next, opponents of gay marriage cannot rely on courts alone. Next, on the Afghanistan scandal. Next, a case of mistake identity. Then on page number 15, in that China's let it rip COVID reopening. Next, no Biden is not forcing your retirement money into ESG funds. Next, want to save the planet? Where's your union card? Next, on page number 17, in that stocks fall, data spur rate against. Next, Microsoft reboots FTC on antitrust challenge. Next, Shipping industry balks at green shift. Next, Musk vows to pause sales of Tesla stocks. Next, surging egg prices create headache for supermarkets. Next, Goldman seeks wider reach in Apple tie-up. Next, on page number 18, in that TikTok staff got data improperly. Next, shippers bulk at green shift. Next, egg prices surge due to bird flu. Next, lending club's finance chief is tasked with preparing firm for a downturn. Then on page number 19, in that alley of embattled insurance executive enters guilty plea. Next, AMC move to rise cash boost Twitter chains value. Next, favorite eyeliner out of stock. Blame TikTok social commerce. Then on page number 20, in that Tesla doubles discount on some models. Next, Musk vows to pause stock sales. Next, Microsoft find in France. Next, software giants reboots FTC. Next, Goldman's Apple deal stands out. Then on page number 24, in that SEC heightens scrutiny of auditors crypto work. Next, FTX collapse pressures SEC over strategy. Next, Guggenheim Partners investment had dies. Next, biotech startup fundraising fell in 2022. Then on page number 25, in that computers driving oil are scrutinized. Next, winter demand in Europe gives coal a big boost. Next, stocks falls on against about Fed. Then on page number 26, in that Apple may face biggest loyalty test yet. Next, in Avatar, Disney needs a gift that keeps on giving. Next, Japan's yield curve control is a tool worth keeping. Then on page number 27, in that when too much holiday decoration is just enough. Next, Americans lead rush for Italy's wine estate. Then that much for today. Thanks for watching.